Hello learners, welcome to our Vishnu IAS Academy. In today's current affairs series, we've picked up a very interesting and unfortunate topic. In fact, what is toxic work culture? We know what is work culture, but today we'll discuss about toxic work culture because recently we have seen, unfortunately, we witnessed a young lady lost her life because of this particular situation. And also in the coming slides, we have discussed the importance of work culture. They have asked in our previous year questions, civil services lo previous year questions lo kuda adigaru work culture gurinchi, and also work culture anedi mana syllabus lo kuda chala important because there is a mentioning lot of times. Ethical concerns enti oka institution run avali, oka employee ni take care cheyali ante ethical concerns enti, and private ethical concerns in private institutions it particularly highlight chesa because of the editorial. Work culture, separate topic is mentioned in your syllabus. So we will see this, and at the end of the video, I gave a practice question as well. Do practices and let me know in the comment section. Yeah, and also coming to the relevance, the many times in UPSC exam they asked organization culture ante emiti. I mean, these are the terms, only key terms I'm mentioning about. I'm not reading the whole question. In 2015 they asked. In 2016, importance of ethics, how does work culture affect ethical decisions? Again in 17, how is new technologies impacting the work culture? In 2018 again, work culture. 19 again, work culture. So the key term has been mentioned. Today specific not only work culture but also what is toxic about work culture we will see. Yeah. So as I told, there is work culture and also toxic work culture. So ee rendu difference. Ee rendutki difference okate. When you are sharing your value, when you are giving your consent iste adi positive. Consent lekunda burden cheste, then it will become toxic. That is what the whole definition is about. See, the shared set of beliefs, values, attitudes, standards, everything which is shared, that makes positive. But it becomes negative when it is dysfunctional or when it is imposed. Just an employee, he needs salary. Just because that opponent person needs salary or money, let it be whatever the reason he or she is working in that organization. But when you're forcing, taking that advantage, thinking he is in the vulnerable situation, he or she needs money, thinking that you're putting negative force on them, then appudu it becomes toxic. So that is the key difference between a positive work culture turning into a negative or a toxic. So shared in a word is important. Next. So what can be the characteristics when a work culture is turning into toxic? When there is poor leadership, when your manager asks you, generally oka work complete avadaniki 6 hours anukundam. But when your manager forces you to work for just in 3 hours, that is not a leadership quality which you are looking for at your workplace. So when there is poor leadership quality, the work culture turns into negative. You can use these keywords, okay? Next, when there is lack of transparency. Yeah, you're asking your employee to work for 3 hours, but on record you're putting only as 6 hours. At least that employee is not getting benefited for this extra amount of effort he is putting into complete. So lack of transparency for the higher authorities. On lower rung, you're making it done, but that particular person is not reaping the benefits. And this will, suppose when you enter an office, మీకు తెలిసిపోద్ది when you enter an office a positive vibration comes where there is a teamwork and everything. We see lot of times we see the Google office space మన Instagram కానీ మన social mediasలో pop-up అవుతుంది. అలాంటి work culture is okay. But we've seen in many cases where the employees shout at the colleagues or shout at the customers, that because of the toxic culture which has been practiced in that particular workplace, that makes an employee to burn out. He can lose his patience. Then absence of teamwork. There's a lot of competition but not collaboration. కాంపిటీషన్ చాలా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నప్పుడు యూ కెన్ సే దట్ పర్టిక్యులర్ వర్క్ ప్లేస్ ఇస్ నెగటివ్. You feel like I have to earn little extra money than my colleague. I have to take little extra appreciation from my manager than my colleague. That kind of competition is negative. And very unclear and unfair policies are there. What do you mean by unclear and unfair policy? When you expect your employee to work for 20 hours, this 20 hours is been told by our famous CEO, like not to name. So this 20 hours you expect, very unfair for someone, for someone you expect to work for 20 hours, very unfair. Such kind of policies. Then harassment and bullying. We know sexual harassment at workplace. It's a very debated, discussed topic. Every women wing organization comes and pose. Already women are very vulnerable. They need to bypass every step to come out and work. In that also, in workplace, they need to face harassment and bullying. So these are the characteristics where you call a particular workplace as toxic workplace. Next, what causes this? Do you think, suppose నేను ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను, I started it. And do you think I automatically will think that లేదు I need to burden particular my employees, I need to burden them, I need to burn out them? No, I will not start that. It will turn. Why? When there is a rigid hierarchy or bureaucratic red tapeism. This is particular for government sector, not private institutions. Bureaucratic red tapeism, this is also seen in private institutions as well. What is happening? I go with a problem. Suppose we'll say that in an organization there is level 1, level 2 and level 3. And here I am staying. I have a problem and I go to level 3 officer. I'll say, but the decision making power is in him. He is very rigid. Particular topic can be discussed by him, but he can't go and talk because he is not freely available. There's very rigid hierarchy. I hope you understand. Suppose I'll say this employee needs leave. Let us take an example of a leave. Suppose this employee needs a leave. He'll go to level 3 officer and say, sir or madam, I need for 2 or 3 days leave. But in that organization, only that decision making power is with this officer. And this officer is not easily available for anyone. So will this employee at the ground level burn out or not? Definitely he'll burn out. That is what a rigid hierarchy means. Lack of empowerment. Short-term focus on profits. This is a main reason you force your below employee. The famous example of Byju's. Okay, let us not take this example. Okay. For short-term profits, suppose there is a company XYZ. Okay, XYZ company undi. Their target is for 6-month period వాళ్ళు ఒక 5 crores earn చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు. 6 months period లో 5 crores earn చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు. బట్ వాళ్ళ ప్రోడక్ట్ అంత వర్త్ లేదు. What will they do? They'll force the lower level employees to work so much hard. They give so much of sales target and everything. For short-term profit, at what cost? What cost? This fellow's mental mind is gone. For short-term profits, when a company does, it turns into a toxic. Poor communication. As I mentioned here, the top-rung people are not easily available for communication. That turns into toxic because this fellow don't know where to go. Lack of growth opportunities. Fixed. In incidents like this, nepotism comes in picture. Growth is not there. When I join an organization for 20,000, I be there itself because there's no opportunity for me to. Even though I'm proving, they're not letting me to prove. Then it turns into toxic. If I have capability, but they're not letting me to grow, definitely I'll go and bad mouth about the organization, if not outside with the colleagues. That turns into very toxic environment. That is how this comes in the picture. Next, what happens? What is the impact? On individual level, we've seen the famous example, Pune, the young lady who has her life in her hands. She just started her career, but she lost her life because to just prove the point that I am fit for this, or just to prove to her manager that I can work. This fellow took advantage of her vulnerable situation. This will lead to suicide. Many reports and many cases. In fact, International Labour Organization says the main reason of suicide in work culture is because of the workload. First is workload. Second is sexual harassment at workplace. Workload is gender specific. Sexual harassment is for women. Nobody is, it's not like one particular person has a benefit. No, both male and female are suffering. According to organization, at organization level, there is a in my workplace, there is very toxic environment. What do? I simply go and brag about the environment which is happening there, or I go tell to my colleagues that manager is not good, I'll tell everything. It turns out very toxic. The efficiency comes down. Human resource they can't utilize up to the optimal level. Ultimately, whatever the goal is there, the profit will not happen. Next, okay, at societal level, what happens is, already from 9 to 5, I worked there. I got burned out. I heard all the things which manager has to say to me and everything. I go to home at 6 o'clock p.m. and my parents or my partner or my children want me to spend time with them. What will happen? I'm already tired over there. My social relations just go in vain. Either the workplace is happy, even at the home I am happy ga undalenu. So these are the impacts at the individual, organization and societal level. What happens in public administration? That is specific for any workplace. At the public administration, at government level, what is happening? Bureaucratic delays are happening. There's lack of motivation at the lower rung because there is rigid hierarchy. I get corrupted. I'll take the money but I'll not work because already rigid hierarchy is there. The toxicity is at the peak. So the decision making, everything get delays. Corruption and nepotism, we've seen recently how the very toughest exam is also seeing this kind of things happening. We've seen an example in IAS case, how people are clearing with influence of their parents or of their relatives or anyone. Lack of accountability, excessive workload, all sums down to toxicity. Next, these are the famous case studies. In USA, what happened? Uber. In 2014, they had a policy that profits first. They put immense pressure on their employees, and in 2017, they saw mass rejections or mass protest. In Wells Fargo also, toxic sales culture. They put unbelievable targets on their employees and asked them to reach. It turned out to a very chaotic situation. In a viral video of HDFC in mid-2023, we've seen in our social medias, the HDFC employee is burning out. He's shouting hell and he's cursing his colleagues and all. We've seen that burned out video. The death of this young lady because of the workload. She just started her career after her graduation. She had to face very tragic death, and still she is not being given justice. Her mom is fighting for justice. Because of this case, because of this incident, unfortunately, we have to speak about mental health today. Mental health anedi ivala maatladutunnamu when there is AI happening, cloud computing, blockchain, what not technologies are coming. But today we had to speak about mental health on the global arena. Now, in recent times, we are speaking a lot about it when there is a death happened. Until then, we don't know what is mental health. We just know how to earn money, or managers know how to just put pressure on them. This is what toxicity means. Yeah, not all workplaces are negative. We have very good examples. Fortunately, the Tata groups, which is known for their ethical behavior. They are very concerned about their employees and all. So very good example. Even in Google, they give focus work. Like you guys can work for 6 hours or 3 hours. The rest of the time is yours. They provide, gyms. They provide swimming pool. They provide therapeutic sessions. They give therapy sessions and everything as well in this office. Even in their Netflix, they say their policy is very interesting. They say that one individual should have freedom. That freedom will give them responsibility. It's very, very difficult to link freedom and responsibility. When an individual, freedom it says, he doesn't know responsibility. He knows that, yeah, I'm free to do anything. But Netflix has come with a concept called link freedom with responsibilities, and they have a very positive outcome. So these are some of the good examples of work culture. How can a workplace be? Yeah. So what are the solutions? Yeah, my workplace is toxic. I come up with particular solution. Leadership training. Before you're making any person a manager, give him first the importance of mental health. Tell him that their employees also are humans. The training is very important. Clear communication channel. Recently, government has said about redressal mechanism. Every office should have this. Dispute redressal mechanism, or there should be a person whom every employee can go and talk to him or her. There should be a clear communication channel. Give importance to mental health. Employee recognition is very important, and growth opportunities. An intern has joined in your particular organization. Intern is doing really great. Recognize that particular intern if he or she is aligning to your work vision and mission, your company's visions. If that is the case, recognize, give him or her an opportunity to grow in your company. Team building. Yeah. Nowadays, all the MNCs or Indian companies, software companies are trying to do this. They have a separate personality development programs. This is very important. Important work-life balance. Tell them to work only 9 to 5. Tell them Monday to Friday you work. But work efficiently. Try to balance both work and your personal life. You need not to mix. Suppose, example tiskundamu. Today you worked for 9 to 12 hours to impress your manager or to impress your boss. Tomorrow something has happened to your family member or something unfortunate happened to yourself. Do you think your colleagues or your boss will come and take the responsibilities of your personal life? Nobody will going to show up. So one should know how to balance work and their personal life. Accountability mechanism. If something has happened, they should stand accountable. That comes when you have a proper training sessions. This and this is very important. Next, what is government? Government is also recognized about this unfortunate incident, and it came about code which says about occupational safety, health, both mental and physical, working conditions. Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. Labor codes reforms. Recently we've seen how they given importance about the time, about the women's safety and everything. We've seen that. So these are the government initiatives to promote positive work culture. So a toxic culture is like a bad relationship. You don't realize how damaging it is until you step away and look at it from the outside. When you enter into any relationship, let us say you have come to the class and made friendship with a particular person sitting beside you. You're hanging out, you're going to cinemas, you're anni chestunaru. You doesn't know what is bad until and unless one day you come out and ask him that, dude, I want this much money. If he doesn't show up, you'll understand, okay, I am with bad company. That means until you travel, you don't know. But until you come out, you'll know. So whenever you are working or something like that, you need to think that is it serving my mental health? You need to think outside that workplace. That is what this whole statement is about. And lastly, you need to discuss your, lastly, there is a practice question for you guys on the topic of work culture. You need to discuss relationship between work culture and employee well-being. Link this both. Why is it important for organization to prioritize positive work culture? Write this for 20 marks. And do let us know in the comment section whenever if you have attempted this question. It's very helpful for your mains preparation and also to brainstorm on this particular topic. Thank you.